I'm in need of a fun and easy sketchbook exercise to just let my brain relax, and I think it'll be fun to do one together. And honestly, the hardest part of this exercise is going to be taking the time to tape off some sort of a grid. I'm going for approximately squares, but they're not perfect squares. Square adjacent. Grab your watercolors and give them a good spritz, if your spray bottle cooperates. And you could do this exercise with any colors that you want. I'm going to be doing this exercise with only one color though, because I'm currently having a love affair with Daniel Smith's Indigo, and that's the color that I'm going to be using. And in order to prepare for this exercise, I am going to mix up a well of some pretty saturated indigo with a bunch of water, just so I have enough where I can grab it occasionally. And I also want to make sure that that pan of watercolor is nice and activated, because I will also be dipping directly into there too. And in this exercise, I'm going to be alternating between squares. So one square will have where I just put clean water down first, let it soak into the page a little bit until it gets to this kind of satiny stage, where it's wet and a little bit shiny, but you can really see the texture of the paper through that water. And then once it's at that stage, I'm going to take a damp brush and I'm going to tap it straight onto that pan of indigo. And I'm just going to start making dots on that wet area. And then for the following square, I'm going to kind of reverse that. So I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to fill it with that mixture I made of that dark indigo color, and I'm going to cover that entire square with that dark color. Again, I'm going to let this soak in for a second until it gets to kind of that satin stage. And then I'm actually going to wash my brush and keep a little bit of water in it and just meet the tip of my brush with just a little water in it right into that indigo color. And what I'm doing here is creating blooms. So I'm allowing a little bit of water to flow out of my brush and push some of that color away. So I'm kind of getting the inverse effect of the previous one that I created. And then I'm going to move on to my next square, and I'm going to go back to the first thing I did, where I start with just some fresh clean water and then dropping in that really concentrated indigo color. And then for the next one, I'm going to reverse it. Start with that really dark color and then drop the water into it. The other thing I had a lot of fun doing in this exercise was playing around with different patterns for dropping these colors in. I'm not sure how much it's really going to change the end result, but it is fun to play with. So some of these I'm dropping them in lines straight across. Some I'm kind of going in a circular motion or a spiral. Some of them I'm going at a diagonal. And I'm just going to fill up this entire page, switching back and forth between those light and dark squares. Then it's time for us to take off the tape, and in order to do that, it'll make it easier if we let it dry or make it dry. When you heat the tape up a little bit, it deactivates the adhesive that's in the glue, and it just comes off so easily. This is one of those exercises that is so relaxing to do. You can kind of just turn your brain off and let the pattern happen once you lay out that initial grid. And there's something about this pattern and this color that makes me think of a really cozy, comfy quilt. Don't you want to just curl up with a good book and a cup of tea wrapped in this?